So for those of you that come on the live or whatever point you do, or if you're watching this playback after the fact, then get settled in. I recommend grabbing something to drink, even maybe grabbing a journal. You might want to take notes, especially if this information is new to you. These are foundations that are going to carry you through your entire personal journey, spiritual journey, business development journey. These are core foundations of how our reality works. So it's not like it's just applicable to personal development, but it's gonna be applicable to every single thing that you do from now on, and you'll begin to see that. So grab something to drink, grab some water, take a moment and just settle in and just take some breaths. Let's do 3 deep breaths together. Let's do another one. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. Okay, we are here now. So the first question I want you to just take a few moments and think about is what is your understanding of the law of attraction as it stands right now? Do you know what it is? Do you have some preconceived notions of what you feel like the law of attraction is? Did you hear someone talking about it and you're like, oh, I think the law of attraction is this? It's really important to be aware of what you believe or feel like you know about this coming in, because that is going to have an effect on the way you receive what I'm going to tell you and the way you experience the things I'm going to have you try. Not only just in this mini training, but also in the mastermind that I'm going to be hosting this summer. So it's just really important to be aware of what your beliefs are. And this is the first practice at self-awareness if you've never done this before. So I want you to take a moment and just write down what you believe the law of attraction is. If you're watching this after the fact, you can even go ahead and put this in the comments. What is your understanding of the law of attraction? What does it mean to you? Because that's really important to know. The next thing that I want you to think about is, do you believe that everything in this universe has a vibrational frequency? What does that even mean? So what this is asking, and really what it's stating, because it's not do you believe it's real or not? Because it is real, but it's important that you have this belief, that you understand that this is how things are. So everything in our universe, everything that exists at its smallest point is wave and also particle of light. So everything is a wave, and then when we focus our attention on it, it becomes a particle of light and appears to be still. But when we're not looking at it, everything is just wave. It's really trippy. It's really trippy. So basically, whatever you're not looking at essentially doesn't exist. It's all in waveform, all moving around. And then we begin to put our focus on something. It conforms to what we expect to see. So it's very, very interesting. But this is the core foundational thing that you need to understand, is that everything has a vibrational frequency. Everything is wave, everything is light, everything is pure potential until we impress upon it. And let's see. Okay, yeah. I talked about that everything is moving. Okay. Okay, the next level to this is, do you believe that things that are similar in vibration are attracted to each other? This is another core of the law of attraction. So an example of this might be that let's think about animals, right? Animals are like a good example. So let's think about like sheep, right? Like sheep are going to be attracted to the other sheep. They're going to want to stay together because they're all sheep. Like it's really rare for like one sheep to like go off on its own intentionally, be like, I don't want to be next to those other sheep. Like I want to be by myself. I want to be like over here. That's not really how sheep operate. That's not really how they commune with each other, or even with themselves. Like they want to be together. So this attraction property happens with everything that is physical and everything that is non-physical. So what's physical, right? Physical is things that we can perceive. You can see it, you can taste it, you can touch it, you can smell it. That's physical. Everything that's non-physical, those are things that you can't see, you can't touch, you can't taste, and you can't smell. And I like to group these into categories, less of physical and non-physical, because we have some amazing beings now, some amazing folks that are beginning to be able to sense things that for a lot of people they cannot sense. So I do not feel that physical and non-physical is entirely accurate at this point in time, because our metaphysical abilities are expanding so much. So let's change that and make it everything that you can perceive and things you cannot perceive, because that's a more general, accurate category of a way to talk about this, to be as inclusive to everyone as possible, no matter where you are on your spiritual journey, on your personal journey, that sort of thing. So things that that most people typically cannot perceive. So that's going to be emotions, right? You can't really see an emotion, right? You can't really see that energy. You can see how it's expressing through someone. You can't see thoughts. You can't see ideas unless someone decides to write it down and make it physical. But while it's still up in your head, no one can see it. So those are examples of things that are non-physical. Thoughts, emotions, ideas, your imagination, your dreams, right? Those are non-physical things, but those are also attracting. Just like there are physical things that are attracting too, right? You may not be able to think about it it may seem like weird, like how are physical things attracting each other? So I'll give an example. So think about a forest. So a forest is a bunch of trees that have grown in the same area that are attracted to each other. It's not very often that you see a tree growing by itself, just by itself. It's really rare. Trees want to grow next to each other because they share resources, because there are a lot of similarities between them that allow them to prosper together. And so typically if you see one tree by itself, it's because there was some sort of outside intervention that dictated that. Maybe humans cut the other trees down, something like that. Another example is politics. So you will notice that people with similar beliefs, with similar values, tend to gravitate towards the same political parties, right? So people that tend to believe A, they ultimately end up creating a group or party where they believe A together. And then the people that don't believe that, they find their own party, create their own party, or gravitate towards a party that believes more of what they believe. We naturally as humans do this. We do this naturally as humans. We want to go towards and be with people that are like us, that are resonant with us. And that is the law of attraction at work. And oftentimes if we're around a group of people that are not like us, it doesn't feel good. It might feel like a lack of resonance. It might feel really uncomfortable. It might feel like you're like the odd one out, or you're the black sheep. And really all that is just on a vibrational level. you are not resonant with those people. And so it's not something wrong with you. It's not something wrong with them. Those are just not the people you need to be around. So you just need to take yourself out of that so that you can begin to attract the people that are resonant with you. So that's another example of the law of attraction at work. I'm going to give you guys another example. This is an example of a non-physical thing that can attract. And also something that most people can't perceive. And that is thoughts, ideas. So thoughts and ideas attract each other. And this is what I believe causes a lot of mental illness, is an imbalance in attraction, of a lack of control over what our mind is attracting. And then it ends up making us sick. We end up creating illness within ourselves because of this imbalance, because of this lack of control over our mind. So I'm going to give a very simple example of this though. So brainstorming, right? So every single one of us has done like a brainstorm session, whether it's by ourselves or whether it's with some friends, but like, how does it work, right? So I remember when I would sit and I'd be like, okay, I need to brainstorm, I need to write something, I need some more ideas about something. Let's say I'm brainstorming about water, right? Let's say water. I'm brainstorming about water. Now, if I sit with myself and think about water long enough, I will receive an idea, a thought about water that I've never thought before. Where does that come from? Where did the thought come from? Everything that has ever been thought before still exists. Everything that hasn't been thought before also exists. All of it exists at the same time. And so when we begin to think, our vibration changes, and then we start to attract thoughts that are resonant with what we are thinking. And that's how brainstorming works. That's how coming up with ideas works, right? If you already had the idea, why would you need to try to come up with one? So all these thoughts, all these vibrations already exist in the non-physical everywhere at the same time. What we experience, what we receive, what we perceive is all based on where we're vibrating at. So, right? Trippy. Now, the next example is emotions. Works the same way with emotions, and in a lot of ways, emotions and thoughts are very similar, but let's not get into that nuance right now. So, emotions. Whatever you are feeling emotionally, you attract that. So let's say if you're feeling really angry right now, you are going to attract situations that amplify and make that anger bigger. You're going to attract people that are also angry. You're going to attract situations where you are angry, if that is your vibration. Same thing if you're happy, if you're joyful, you're having a good day, you're going to attract people and situations that are at that same vibration. So an example, we've all experienced this. And what I love about giving these examples is it really helps to put into context things that we've all experienced and help you understand how the law of attraction is actually working in that. And actually help you go into that and understand that in detail. In the mastermind, we get to have a little one-on-one chat in the group setting so that we can really break down what's actually happening here on a vibrational level so that you can actually know what's happening, know why it's happening, and also change it. So, get some water. I feel like I was going into another example and then it totally just left. I feel like my example I had in my head totally just left. I was talking about emotions. Oh yeah. Okay, so talking about emotions. So you wake up in the morning, right? You wake up, you something happens and you start like looking at your phone or something. You see something that's unpleasant. You see some maybe bad news. You start getting stressed or something. Like whatever it is, you let it get to you. And then you start worrying, you're stressing, you're feeling agitated. And then if you keep thinking about that and keep focusing on how you don't feel good, then other stuff starts to happen. Like maybe you're getting dressed, you're all ready, you're making breakfast, you're eating breakfast, you spill some breakfast on your clothes. Now you have to go change. Man, that sucks. That's irritating. Are you kidding me? I'm barely on time and now I might be running late. So you go change, you go to leave, you can't find your keys, right? You're like, oh my God, where are my keys? I'm gonna be late, right? You finally find your keys, you get in the car, you're driving to work, there's an accident on the freeway you take, and now you're in standstill traffic. And you're like, are you kidding me? You get to work, and there was actually some assignment due or something you had to do for work that's due today, and you totally forgot to do it the other day. And you may not have time to finish it, and now you're feeling even more stressed. So that's how it works. That's how it works, and it's called momentum. It's called momentum. So it's just imagine like you're going up a roller coaster. That's how I imagine. Like you're going up a roller coaster and this momentum's building, 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 and then at some point it'll break. And so usually that break happens when we release whatever we were holding on to that built that momentum. So it might be like you're saying, like, F it, like this day's shit. I'm gonna go on a walk. I'm gonna go sit and meditate. I'm gonna call my best friend. I'm going to go get a smoothie. I'm gonna just like go sit outside. Like I'm gonna take a moment. I'm just gonna like let all this stuff that I was worrying about go for a moment, and I'm just gonna feel good. That's usually when the breaking point happens. And when you are able to pause and take that moment of self-awareness and get yourself out of that and into a place of more neutrality, then you can begin to turn things around. Now, the same sort of momentum can be built with positivity, with positive emotion. So you wake up this morning, you're feeling great, right? You go and you make breakfast, you make it the same way every single day, but today when you make it, it just tastes way better than the other days. You're like, wow, this is awesome. You get an email from work that you did well on some project, or that some client you're trying to sign said yes, or you get a large deposit in your bank account, or your investments did well today, and you're like, oh my God, yes, this is awesome. You go out about your day, maybe you're on your way to work, you get all green lights, traffic is smooth. Maybe you stop and go and get a coffee in the morning, or you stop and get a tea in the morning, you stop and get your breakfast, and then the person that was in line in front of you paid for your food. You're like, oh my God, they did that. So that's an example of how positive momentum can build. And we've all had days like that. No matter how bad things seem right now, we've all had days like that where things just kept getting better and better and better. You're like, whoa, like what's going on today? And it's like, you're what's going on. So that's how momentum works with positive emotions, and how it can work with negative emotions. Whatever you give your attention to is what grows, is what gets bigger. And I like to imagine this as, imagine your aura around you, and everything that's in your aura is what you're feeling and thinking, what you believe. Whether you're aware of it or not, it's all there in your aura, and it's determining what comes into your reality, what you see, what you experience, the type of people that you meet and interact with. And so when you begin to change what you think and feel and believe, then your aura, your vibration changes. And as a result, your reality changes. So, recap. Fundamental basic understanding of the law of attraction. 1, everything has a vibrational frequency. 2, things that have the same vibrational frequency are attracted to each other, whether you can perceive it or not. 3, this attraction occurs with all things, physical things, non-physical things, objects, thoughts, emotions, plants, everything, every single thing it happens with. So I want to clarify this and say, like we talk about, oh, I do the law of attraction. You don't do the law of attraction. You study the law of attraction. The law of attraction is something that you observe, that you gain awareness of, that you engage with, but it's not something that you do because it's happening all the time already. The way that we can use this information to actually benefit ourselves is becoming aware of what's happening and how we are in control of what is being created. So the law of attraction has been happening. It's happening now and it will continue to happen. But again, by your awareness of the law of attraction, by understanding that what we put out is what we get back, what we put into the hologram is what we get out of the hologram, then we can begin to have more control over our creations, have control over our manifestations, begin to create the lives that we want, the relationships that we want, the careers that we want, whatever it is that you want. We all have the ability to create that based on what we feel and what we think. I like to relate the law of attraction to studying a river. So imagine a river flowing, right? Just make it a pretty setting. There's like green grass. There's like prairie. Maybe there's some trees. Maybe there's some mountains in the distance. Just imagine like this healthy, strong, rushing, raging river. Now the water of that river it's your inner being. It's your soul. It's your spirit. It is the source within you. It is your God self. That highest part of you that understands that all is well, that knows that this is all just for fun, that knows that none of this that you see is actually real. It's all just literally a figment of our imagination. It's part of us that is the most powerful, that is the creator, that is the manifester. That part of us is the water. Now, any dams, any blockages, any objects that are in the river represent what you're resisting, what you feel like your limitations are, what you feel like you can't overcome. Those can be represented by like a beaver dam or something, or maybe like a humongous log fell in the river and is blocking part of it. So you feel like you can't get past it. So those objects, I'm trying to make an analogy, so bear with me. So like the logs, the dams, that represents our limiting beliefs. Maybe it's a belief that's like, oh, maybe you don't feel worthy. Maybe you don't feel good enough. Maybe you don't feel like something is actually possible for you to do like it is for another person or another group of people. Maybe you were told something growing up and that was limiting and you've internalized that and you believe that to be true. That's a blockage. That's resistance that you've internalized. And that's in your vibration too. It's going to block anything that's of that vibration. So the trick to this though is a lot of people feel like, okay, I need to go and remove that blockage. I need to go and get it out of the way. And it's going to be hard. I need to get it out of the way. It's going to be hard. I might need help trying to get this out of the way. So the catch is that you don't need to actually go and focus on removing the blockage. Because if you go and focus on that thing that's limiting you, there's no law of exclusion. So all that you're going to continue to perceive and amplify is the lack, is the limit, right? Think about unworthiness. If you're like, oh, I'm feeling unworthy, I need to go and try to release this unworthiness. I need to let go of this unworthiness, understand why the unworthiness is there so I can root it out, get it at the root and yank it out, all this unworthiness. But this whole time, you're still focused on the unworthiness. It doesn't work that way. You will continue to realize and attract situations where you feel unworthy. That's what happens. It's literally physics. It's literally energetics. Like, that's just what's going to happen. Just know that that's not the way to do it. The way to do it is to focus on the river, on the water that flows. Because although there may appear to be a blockage on the river, on the path, there is water still flowing through it. And you are also that water. So if you can understand that your inner being, your soul, your spirit, your intuition, whatever you want to call it, the source within you, your God, is strong enough, powerful enough, and intelligent enough to find a way through that limitation, to wash that limitation away with ease, then you will be able to do that. And you will be shocked and surprised with how many paths will clear for you if you just focus on the truth, your ultimate truth, which is that you are God, which is that you are a spiritual being, which is that you are energy, which is that you are powerful, you are a creator, and you are limitless. So you need to focus on where your spirit and soul are trying to take you, where you're going, and not what's standing in the way of that. So let me take a moment, let me take a breath, drink some water. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I would love to, if you have any questions, comments, go ahead and leave them below. Even if you're watching this after the fact, I would love to address these questions in a later training, later video. So, nothing is a coincidence. Every single thing that happens for a reason. And it's either we are aware enough to understand how this thing came into being, or we are not aware how this thing came into being. It's just those two. It's either you understand or you don't understand. And so I tend to find that I was talking to a woman recently. I was talking to a woman that actually owns and runs a successful business. I was talking to her, telling her about what I do. And she was saying that she just finds it easier to believe that she doesn't have any control over what happens. And by believing that she doesn't have any control and that it's just sort of up to God or just up to this, higher being, then she can relax and she doesn't have to worry about changing anything in her life, right? She feels like, she's like, oh, if I felt like it was something that I was doing, then how would I ever have peace? Like, how would I... And I feel like, and I don't know what to do about it, right? There's these things that are happening. I don't know what to do about them. So it's just easier to put that responsibility on someone else, put it on God, put it on that person. It's their fault. Put it on these perpetrators for doing the thing that's wrong to them to do that, blah, blah, blah. Put it on other people. It's not my fault. It's just, everything's random essentially. And that is, to be completely real with you, that is not true. It is absolutely not true. And I believe that it is the weak path to take. It is a path of not having accountability. It is a path of victimhood. It is a path of lack of creation. It is a path of pushing away one's power, pushing away one's ability to create, and saying someone else created that. That wasn't me. I don't create. I'm just booping along. That's really dangerous. A lot of people are living in that place right now where they're like, I'm not creating, they're creating, and their creations suck, and it's affecting me, and now my life sucks, and so I'm mad at them. No. Nothing is a coincidence. Everything that we experience is based on what we attract. And I know at first it can seem challenging, it can seem scary, it can seem unfair. It's like, are you kidding me? Are you saying that I am the reason that my life is the way it is? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. And that's great, because that means that you can control what happens in your life going forward, and you're not at the whim of someone else. That is valuable. That is a gift. And part of my mission, part of what I love doing, is helping people realize how this is happening, helping people realize how they can use this to actually create beautiful things, to create profitable things, to create happy things, to create a life that they want, and not continue to be influenced or affected by what other people are creating. So I want you to start, if you haven't yet, start journaling and writing down all the signs, all the synchronicities, all the things that are happening. Really, you need to be keeping a daily journal talking about your days and what's happening and what you're feeling as you start on this journey, and really for the rest of your life, because I journal for my whole entire life, and the amount of insight that you can gain as to what's changing in your life, the amount of understanding you can come into about why you feel the way you feel, why something happened. Writing is so powerful. So keep track of signs, keep track of your dreams, keep track of synchronicities, keep track of everything. Because you'll be able to go back and reflect and see that, oh, that was happening, but it's not happening anymore. I know what I did to change that. Or like, oh, that was happening. In hindsight, I realized I understand why that was manifesting. That was because I thought this, or I believed this, or I allowed this. The world is a mirror. It is literally a mirror. It's an analogy, but it is a mirror. It is a hologram. Everything that we feel, that we think, that we believe is reflected to us. That's why we get triggered, right? We have a belief about something. So the universe reflects this back to us. And if this belief is not in resonance with our inner being, with our soul, with our source, with our spirit, with our intuition, then we get triggered. So it's a mirror for you. You're welcome. If you're watching this, I'm a mirror for you right now, because ultimately you know that all of this is true. You know this deep within. You know that this information is true. You know that you're a powerful creator. You know that you get what you give. Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, every single thing is being reflected back to you. Your dreams are an indication of what you are attracting as well. When you look at everything that's happening in your life from a place of intentionality, from a place of, oh, everything happens for a reason, that the universe is purposeful and has an order and is not random, then we understand that we're not at the force of some unseen forces, or even seen forces like politicians or governments or parents or bosses. We are not at the whim of anything outside of us. We ultimately get to choose and decide what we do, what we think, what we believe. And whether or not you are ready to take on all of that right now or not doesn't make it any less true. I did a video, was it yesterday? I did a video talking about how I essentially told my employer what I want to do for work, what I don't want to do, and what I want to get paid. Now, currently, I'm in negotiations with them discussing that, but as a sign of good faith from them in these negotiations, they've given me quite a bit of what I've already asked for. So, and this is not like I'm an independent contractor in this job. No, I'm on payroll. I'm on payroll. There's a W-2, right? In the past, before I started my spiritual journey, I would have never, ever thought about writing a letter to the owners of the company or to my boss or to my manager and being like, this is what I want my job duties to be. This is what I don't want to do. This is what I want to get paid in a story. It never even crossed my mind. I never even heard of anyone doing that before. And so if you've got these beliefs that you don't believe certain things are possible, whether or not you consciously are aware of them, it affects the type of thoughts you have. It affects the type of vision that you have. My visions of what I believe is possible for me now are so much larger than they were 4 years ago, 5 years ago. So much bigger. And that's because I've come to understand what I believe, what I think, and what I feel, and begun to shift that. Begun to shift that to what I want to feel, what I want to believe, what I want, that types of thoughts I want to be thinking. And over time, I've become this new person that just thinks these thoughts, that feels these things, that believes these things. And so these sorts of things happen in my life. So it's as simple as that. We take note, we journal, we watch what's happening in our lives, we decide if we want it or not, and if we don't want something, we recalibrate. If we do want something, we double down on that. We have our part, and the non-physical energy of the universe has its part, right? I like to think of the energy as an assistant, as a personal assistant, right? I like to think of it like that. When I am thinking something, when I'm feeling something, I'm placing orders. I'm placing tasks to my assistant, and my assistant goes and does it. It doesn't matter if it's good, if it's bad, if it helps me, if it harms me. My assistant just does what I says. And the universe is the same way. The energy is the same way. What you feel, what you think, what you believe, what you do, are all you placing orders, are all you setting a vibrational tone, and you will get that back. What you vibrate at is what you will get and what you will experience. So let's summarize and synthesize these roles, right? The role of us, the role of the universe. So the first is to ask for what you want. That asking, again, occurs via a thought, via emotion, via an action. Sure, you can ask the question, but really it was a thought first. So it's already, you don't even have to say the words. You have to say anything, and you are always asking. Your vibration is an ask. Your aura is an ask. Whatever is in your aura is what you're asking for. Whatever your vibration is what you're asking for. 2, the energy, the reality, our universe, our hologram responds immediately to that. Now, you might be thinking, well, if it responded immediately, I have $1 million. No, it's not like that. There is a buffer of time. There's a buffer of time. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about that in this mini training, but I do go into detail about this in the summer mastermind I'm doing, Law of Attraction Summer Mastermind. This summer, May through June. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later, but I talk about in detail how this works because there are nuances to this. There is a bit more to it than just what I'm saying here, but this is really the foundation. And if you've got this foundation, it's going to really set the tone and make it easier for you to begin being more intentional about what you're creating and what you're manifesting. So we're just going to we're trying to keep it simple. I'm trying to keep it simple and approachable. So third step is allowing the manifestation to come into your reality, allowing what you want to come in. And this really has more to do with when you're trying to manifest something that you want that maybe you don't believe you have. So it's really easy to manifest negative things, right? You don't have any resistance to it. You're like, oh man, I'm angry, You don't have positive thoughts. You don't always have positive thoughts getting in the way of those. Most people, if they're in a bad mood, they're like, I'm not wanting nobody to cheer me up. Don't try and tell me how I should be grateful. I'm not about it, right? A lot of people are very strong and insistent about feeling their negativity. When it comes to positivity, not a lot of people are the same way. I like to think that I'm an exception to that, and I am insistent about being positive. And someone's bringing negativity in, I'm like, okay, yeah, see you over there. That's not mine. I am feeling good right now. I'm vibing. I'm abundant. I am grateful. Life is good right now. I'm feeling great. I'm vibing. I'm going to stay here. So you can do that over there, right? So when you are trying to manifest or bring in something positive, something that you want, but maybe you don't feel like you can have, or you have a limiting belief around, at that point, our work is to release that resistance, is to begin to put more energy and focus on what we desire and the reality of that already being so, and less on the belief in reality where we don't have it. That's essentially step 3. It's reality shifting. Like, step 3 is essentially every single step 3 is like 90% of what my mastermind is helping people do. It's helping people understand how to allow their manifestations into their life, how to shift realities. Because that's what most of the people struggling with. People have no problem asking. People ask for stuff all the time, right? We're always asking, and the universe is always responding. But we can often get in our own way when we ask for something, right? But then we also have a vibration of the opposite of it that's stronger. And then that thing we want isn't able to come in. Or maybe it starts to come in, but it comes in a really weird way. Like, you ask for, you're like, I really want $10,000. I really want $10,000. But you have a belief that, like, I'm not gonna, how do I fucking get $10,000? Like, no one's gonna give me $10,000. Like, I can't win the lottery. What are the odds of that? Blah, 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 blah. And so what might happen is because you've got all these resistant, limiting beliefs to something that you desire, to something that you want, you end up manifesting a car accident. And you end up getting hurt. And you get an attorney. And then that's how you get the 10 grand. Right? Because you didn't believe that it was actually possible. So it ended up coming, but it came in a really weird way, right? It came in a way in which you're like, oh, okay, I can only get something if I have to give something. A lot of people believe that. You can't get something for nothing. Well, if you believe that, every single thing that you want, that you desire, that is good, it's going to come in and you're going to have to give something up because of it. It's not because that's just how it is. No, that's just because that's what you believe. I know. Sorry, not sorry. That's how it works. So, how do you begin to shift that? Number one way is feeling satisfied. Feeling satisfied, feeling grateful, feeling appreciative. Gratitude journaling. Every single moment of every single day, I want you to try your hardest. Change that. Try your easiest to be grateful about something. Understanding that it's all just a numbers game. It's all just a momentum game. The more that you can feel positive emotions, the more that you can have positive thoughts, the more you're going to attract positivity into your life. The more that you think negative thoughts, the more you feel negative emotions, the more you're going to attract that into your life. It's really just what you put in is what you get out. So you have to begin to shift that energy and that focus from what you don't want, from what's negative, to what you do want, and understanding that it's all just a part of this process, and you may not see these giant manifestations right away, but it's all about the long game here. It's all about what type of life do you want to live. Like, do you want to spend every single day of your life being angry and frustrated and irritated and feeling like you're a victim, or do you want to feel appreciative and gratitude and love and safety and trust every single day of your life? Understanding that by feeling this way, you're going to get more of that. I'm not here to live I'm not here to live a miserable life. I'm not here to be angry, upset. I'm not here to do any of that. I'm here to be joyful and happy and spread this light and help other people do the same. So take note and document the outcome of your actions. Journal, feel gratitude, feel grateful, and continue to journal and watch how your life, your experiences begin to change. Even with this little small change, which isn't that little and small, but it makes a huge difference in your vibrational frequency. So I'm curious why you're here. I'm curious why you came to this webinar. Why are you here? Put it in the comments below. Let me know. I want to know what you're feeling. I want to know what has brought you to this point. Are you completely new to this and you're struggling? Are you depressed or anxious? I used to be that. Do you feel like you have all the tools, you study all these modalities, you've got the information, but yet you're still not satisfied or happy? Are you skeptical about the law of attraction? Do you feel like it's just all BS and you're like, that doesn't work, that's just woo-woo stuff, but you're still here and you want to see if maybe you can be proven wrong? Or maybe you're sick, maybe you're not well, maybe you've got no energy, maybe you're fatigued, maybe you've got some physical ailments in your body, some illnesses there, some dis-eases there that you have been trying to figure out, maybe with traditional doctors, maybe with Western medicine, maybe even with some like energetic modalities, but you just haven't seen the results that you thought you would see. Well, I am here to help you achieve and reach the goals that you have, because no matter if you have any of those issues, any of those situations going on, they can all be shifted to a more positive frame of mind. They can all be shifted to a more positive frequency, and you can begin to experience healing. You can start to experience success, happiness, joy, and satisfaction. So by working with me, you're going to be able to understand the nature of reality, how the law of attraction works. You're going to be able to experience consistent joy and satisfaction. You're going to be able to experience success in all areas of your life. You're going to be able to realize that you have an eagerness for life and its possibilities, and you're actually excited about the future, about what's next. And you're going to begin to have confidence in your ability to create based on actual experience, not just me telling you it's possible, but you're going to actually do it and experience it, and you're going to be able to use that as your proof that you can do it again. Because this is all about you. This is all about you and what you can actually do, and getting you to the point where you can begin to do this intentionally, and then you can realize like, oh my gosh, I've unlocked something here I didn't even realize, right? So I am really, really excited to be bringing the Law of Attraction Summer Mastermind to you guys. This is going to be an 8-week ascension training. There are going to be live video calls every single Saturday morning for 2 hours. This is a participation course. So this is not cameras off, sound off. No, everyone is participating. Everyone is engaged here, because this is not just a lecture. It's not just me disseminating information. No, it's us learning. It's us doing exercises together. It's us talking about it. It's me helping you fully integrate this in so that you can actually begin to live and experience it. Like, you will shift and you will change. This is my 3rd time doing this, and I wouldn't be doing it a 3rd time if it didn't work for people the first 2 times. So this is all about gaining experiential knowledge, actually making real change in your life. And this is why it's limited at this time to 11 beautiful souls. So if you are resonating with this, if you feel called to this, then I recommend you sign up now. I am offering early bird pricing on this right now. lawofasha.com. You can go and sign up there. Early bird pricing will be available for about until March. Yeah. So early bird pricing will be available until March. After March, it goes up to regular pricing. So go ahead and sign up now if you really feel like this is something that you're resonant with. Once the 11 spots are filled, I won't be accepting any more into this particular mastermind, but you will be able to get on the wait list for the next one. When the next one will be, we will see. So things that I'm going to be training you guys on in the mastermind are the origins of our world, how the world began, where this one level of the source vibration that's affecting us. right? So we're going to be talking about that, why that matters and why that's helpful to understand when it comes to manifesting and creating, and understanding how everyone outside of us is also manifesting and creating. 2, we're going to master micro manifesting and macro manifesting. So manifesting on a small scale and a big scale. Next, I'm going to help you reprogram your mind. Everything that we've done on this video is reprogramming your mind, but you're going to reprogram your mind. I'm going to help you do that. I'm going to put in some more positive, more empowering programs that's going to allow you to then create programs that you want in your life. And I used to word program loosely because I just understand that everything's a program now, but maybe like you want to get in shape. That's your goal. And you decide that the way to get there is you are going to work out every day. That's a program. It's not necessarily a program that maybe the person next to you wants to have, but that's a program that you want. And so by helping you shift to a reality where you are a powerful creator, where you understand how the law of attraction works and how energetic works, then I can help you integrate the programs that you want to integrate into your life, so that you can become the person you want to become. So there's going to be a mental and emotional training. I'm going to teach you guys about vibrational amplifiers, things, situations that increase your vibrational output so you can attract more strongly. I'm going to help you understand how to make high-level decisions and how to critically think at a high level, not just thinking about logic, but also including the energetics in the way you make decisions. You are going to learn how to be sovereign, how to be self-governing, and how to be self-accountable, and so much more, and so much more, and so much more. So in this mastermind, you guys are going to have access to a private chat. This is going to be a way for you guys to commune and communicate and chat and work on these prompts and exercises in your homework throughout the week in between the live training sessions. Some of my students have made lifelong connections and friends through my masterminds. I've made some lifelong connections with some of my students that have attended the mastermind. So it's really a space where you can grow, where you can connect, where you can really build community, especially if you feel alone or if you feel like you, we were talking about early, right? If you feel like you're not in resonance with the people in your life right now, this is an opportunity to make connections with people that you may be more resonant with. Next, I am offering discounts for attendees on one-on-one coaching. So if you want to work with me one-on-one, then I offer discounts to students of this mastermind so they can do that at a reduced cost. Now, I will say there is an abundance of opportunity to get all of your questions answered, all of your concerns, all your coaching done within the group setting. But if for some reason you want to talk to me about something one-on-one, something private, maybe you don't want everyone else in the group to know, I understand, that is totally fine. Then these one-on-one sessions are for you. And then in this mastermind, if for instance you are not able to attend a live training, they will be available up to 48 hours afterwards to watch. But really, you get the most benefit out of this by being there on the call. So this is a commitment to yourself. This is a commitment to you, to your participation, to your engagement, to your healing, to your ascension. You've got to be there to really get the most benefit out of this. But again, I understand emergencies might occur. This mastermind is for you if you are ready to question absolutely everything. Everything. If you're ready to question every single thing, if you're ready to potentially discard everything that you thought was true, everything that you believe was true, in order to live a better, happier, more fulfilling, more aligned, more soul-driven life, then this is for you. If you want to walk a path that no one's ever walked before, then this is for you. The things that we do in this mastermind are things that most people are not doing. There are things that even a few people aren't doing, even a minority of like really spiritual people out there. I'm doing things, I'm creating techniques, I'm creating strategies and rituals and tools that no one else out there is doing. And that's my life. I love doing this. I love experimenting with stuff and seeing what works and then sharing it with people. So I am going to be sharing things with you that I have never shared before. Next, if you are committed to putting in the work and showing up, then this is for you. If you are not, this is not for you. This is not. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have to do it even if it feels hard. You have to understand that the potential of who you could be if you gave this 100% is well worth whatever discomfort you might be going through, whatever challenges you might be going through now, whatever resistance you might be feeling. It's all worth it. It's all worth it. And so it requires a commitment to change. It requires a commitment to show up and do this work and participate. There's just no other way to do it. Okay. So this mastermind officially starts on May 6th, runs through June 24th. So lessons will start at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, and they will go for about 2 hours or so. So again, we have 11 spots available for this mastermind. Early bird pricing is available until March. After March goes up to regular pricing. I'm really, really excited about this. It's last year is when I did the second mastermind, and I have learned so much since then. I've come to so many more realizations and understandings, and I'm really excited to share this with you. I'm excited to help people understand that you have all the power, you have all the control. No one else, no, you're untouchable. You're really untouchable, and you're really limitless. And the more that we can begin to realize this as a collective and begin to work together and begin to resonate together on this, the more of a powerful impact we can have on the rest of the world. I know that quite a few of you that may be interested in doing this and may be interested in being guides or being healers or helping people. You are welcome here. Come, come, come. You are welcome. You will be surrounded in my warmth. I have a special, special love for folks that also want to do this kind of work. And so I'm here to support you in that. And for those of you that are totally new to this, that are like, all this that you said was new to me, I'm still trying to come to grips with it. Sleep on it. Go sleep on it. Let this sink in. What is for you is for you. If you are meant to be here with us, you will be here with us. So just take some time and let yourself adjust to this new reality. Imagine what life could be like if you were happy every day. Imagine what life could be like if you knew that something 100% was going to happen. Imagine what it could be like to expect things to go well for you. Imagine what life could be like if you knew that ultimately you never had to worry about anything and everything always worked out for you, no matter how bad it seemed. That is here for you. I'm offering that on a platter. That is here for you. The universe is offering this to you on a platter. All of us can have this. So I want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, comments, go ahead and leave those. I am so grateful for you. If you would like to sign up, you can do so at lawofasha.com. And I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you have an amazing day. Bye.